Good late afternoon on this early summer, early June, thick, overcast, puffy clouds high in the sky with a little sunshine trying to peek through on this ever increasingly warm and somewhat muggy day in the greater Bloomington metropolitan area in central Illinois. This is Vincenzo'S Gold, Crypto, Investing, where you come, like, subscribe, and share on our way to 300 subscribers for a one-of-a-kind, company-made, probability-based trading alert, technical analysis, and trading philosophy of freedom, prosperity, and personal sovereignty for all. Free market capitalism and Austrian economics of savings and production, right? Keep the fruits of your labor. Real quick for my digital asset dad, I tried to record this video earlier, but I've had a lot of phone calls and interruptions. You can see over the weekend when we came up here, we identified this big wick yesterday and said big wick, heavy sell pressure as we came up to overhead resistance with a little brief 2-hour spike in volume. But if I zoomed out, it's still overall downtrending volume. So digital asset data and Quant, you come back and you're about to touch the 200-day underneath moving average. You probably will come back up and retest, or at least there's a chance you could, and then you're going to get rejected, come back down and retest $43, trade along it for a minute, and then I think you're going to break it, come down to some support, come back up to this overhead white line that's resistance now that used to be from our old triangle, get rejected, then come back down and test $40, which is an underneath old support line on our way down, digital asset data, in the next few days to weeks. I think we're going to be down to $36, right, as a short-term target. This coin, digital asset dad, I believe you asked me to go over it. It's that casino betting coin. I believe this is the only one that I could find crypto related that I'm assuming is the one you're talking about. If it's not, just let me know if it's not, and I will go find the correct one. But I believe this is the one you're talking to. And if I look at it, it's fairly new. You can see higher low, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, right? And then the same uptrending resistance, or the same uptrending support down here. Now, if you're going to play this, you got to buy down here and ride the pump, ride the pump, ride the pump, ride the pump. But the pumps are getting smaller. So be very cautious if you, A, have entered a position. I am not a financial advisor, nor do I play one on my own radio station and network and wherever else you share me on social media. This is strictly educational and entertainment and only. Transition, trading alert, biavians, tons and one. But there is a chance that you could break this now and come down really far. You know, so be very cautious if you've entered into a position. I just drew this out real fast. You got upper resistance, lower support. If you break up above here, you can play it, but you got to sell real quick because it's going to crash back down. If you break this lower support and you're in this, be very cautious because you could have a big crash. On digital asset data, let me know if that's the correct coin that you were talking about. So we did Quant. We'll do a little Matic, right? It's very quick. Very quick here. Go to the, to here, to perching tool, to perch from the overhead. We're going to a 3-hour time frame, and you can see what's going on here real quick. And that's going to be probably it for this update. I'm just driving home out of Rivian, or wish I was driving home. Driving back to the fucking hotel life for the next few weeks until I get to come home for a little while, right? Be very excited about that. Be back in the great state of Michigan. But you can see in Matic, or the 4-hour. In Matic, what we got going on here is we said yesterday after we crossed here with crashing volume was an outside chance you could pump here for a fabulous, phenomenal, glowing, gorgeous double top, mid-range double top, just a crash. But yesterday when we were driving, we said you're probably going to trade down and retest. That's where we drew this yellow line. Retest this lower support line, trade down it, and then along this other uptrending support line. And then I think we're going to eventually break it as we trade down towards $1 in Matic over the next days to weeks, right? Like, subscribe, and share. We look at the gold stocks real quick. Holy shit. What the fuck is this guy doing? Get the fuck out of the way, asshole. If we look at gold today, didn't really do much. Remember, tomorrow's morning radio show, Drive Time, is going to be a 16-minute in-depth on inflation and monetary and fiscal policy and exactly what inflation is. If you're under the impression that inflation is rising prices, you really need to watch that video, right? Because inflation is rising prices are an effect of inflation, but the cause of rising prices is big government monetizing and printing money. When you expand the money supply, that is inflation, right? Expanding the money supply. You increase, you inflate, you increase. When you print, you increase, hence you inflate the money supply, right? See what I'm saying? Watch that 16-minute video tomorrow on my morning drive time. Very informative. You guys are running out of time to get your portfolios in line. Because if we take a brief look at the dollar index today, it's probably going to have a rough week as they're talking about a fourth stimulus to get near $7.5 trillion by the halfway point of Joe Biden, communist Joe Biden's first year in office, right? We gotta talk Joe Biden because he's the president. I'm not a Biden supporter. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a communist, nor a liberal, nor even a conservative Republican, because they do not follow conservative Republicans' beliefs anymore. Just as if you were a John F. Kennedy Democrat, they are no longer the John F. Kennedy Democrats. They're more closely related with the Joseph Stalin, right, than the John F. Kennedy. So if you were a John F. Kennedy Democrat, you need to leave that party. If you were a Ronald Reagan, even though he wasn't really a fiscal conservative, but if you're a Ronald Reagan Republican, you need to leave that party, right? We need to start our own party of freedom, Austrian economics, balanced budget, savings and productivity, and the right to keep the fruits of your labor with limited government, right? It's the only way to do it. But gold didn't really do anything today. Didn't expect it really to. I think you're going to start having fireworks as the summer progresses. I think $2,500 will be a target, but let's go to the dollar index. Where the fuck's it at? U.S. dollar currency. Up a little bit today, coming up against the 200-day moving average, or the 50-day moving average. If it keeps pumping, you could come up to this overhead 200, and then you're going to get rejected because you're on a big down pattern in the U.S. dollar. Like, subscribe, and share more updates to come. Peace and love. Peace and love.